today we're gonna go over proper bracing mechanics. And to help me, I have Alina here. Now, the perfect thing about this is that we really only covered the sumo deadlift with Alina a few minutes ago. So the exercise itself is new, but this is something that I've been working a lot with her in terms of bracing itself. So we're really gonna see it in action with a relatively new motion. And you're gonna be able to see how it allows her to keep a good position despite the fact that it's not super practiced. So go ahead and get set up in that sumo stance. Now, we're gonna go through a couple things when we want to brace. First and foremost, if we want to really create a tire of air through our midsection, we need to start off by relaxing those muscles. So it's not just the muscles of the core, but also the large lat muscle that we'll use to then compress that air. So we wanna relax it, and to do so, Alina's gonna sort of let her shoulders roll forward as she takes a big breath, ideally through her belly. Then she bears down, and she's gonna squish an orange through her armpit, tighten your back a little bit as well. Good, and come up from here. Excellent, and back down. Now, when we do this one again, I want you to also really focus on engaging those muscles of the upper back and getting to a more neutral spine before we start. You're really rounded? Yes, that's where I want you to get after you bear down. So as we tie in the lats, we also want to use those spinal erectors to keep that back nice and straight. Yep. Now, some people will deadlift with a slightly rounded back. I wasn't concerned with that first rep because Alina was really engaged through her lats. But for a beginner, it's not a bad place to start with a much more neutral spine. So take that deep breath, allow the armpits to rise up so you can take a deep breath, and then tie down the lats and straighten your back. Straighten more, no, straighten, yep, and up from here. Good. Another thing that you'll notice, it's really hard to see without a belt, but we're gonna cut to a belt. Okay, so the belt is a good visual tool and something that we can add in later. Now, again, this is something that Alina isn't super familiar with, but there's a lot that we can do here. Now, when you put a belt on, generally you wanna have it be pretty tight, not so tight that it doesn't allow you to take a deep breath, but if you go to stick 2 fingers between yourself and the belt, you should be able to get them in, but have a little bit of resistance to do so. Cool. Now, another thing that the belt does in terms of sensory feedback is that as Alina takes that big breath, she should feel herself pushing against the belt in every single direction. Not just in the front, but in every single direction, right? So as you take this next breath, I want you to think of relaxing the muscles of your core, pushing out against the belt as you breathe, and then bearing down against it. So go ahead and do that again. Deep breath in, and bear down. Good. Now, common thing here, you could leave it at that. Just quick little ones. A common thing we'll see here is that sometimes with the belt, we'll be very inclined to take a big chest breath. I want you to do one more and try not to raise up too much through the chest, but actively push against the belt. And sometimes, if you have a tighter shirt on, you'll even see yourself spilling over the top of the belt a little bit, which is ideal. Excellent. And then bear down and even tie the lats into it. Good, just like we're deadlifting. That is ideally what we want to see when we brace. So now we can incorporate the belt into this deadlift. And what we're going to want to do here is the same exact process. Start by relaxing, taking a deep breath, squeezing that orange in your armpit, tying in those muscles, and coming up. And if we do so, just like cars float on compressed air, we're putting a tube of compressed air in Alina's midsection here and allowing her to generate force with the lower body, transmit that force up to her upper body where she's holding onto the bar. Go ahead and give me one more rep. Really tighten that upper back as we do so. Yes, and then up from here. Excellent, and back down. Hope you enjoyed the video on bracing. Hey, Chance, just clean it up in post. You know, just make me sound good, dude.